Sean. Wes in Idaho, you're on the air.
Hello, Alex.
Hi.
I appreciate you very much. I want to try and untie this knot as to who Israel of the Bible is and is not. Your earlier caller pointed out something I've known for years, that the Jewish Almanac actually admits that they are not Israelites. Now, the first belief out there is most common belief out there is Judeo-Christianity. Is promulgated by John Hagee and Falwell and Robertson. That's the belief that the Jews are all 12 tribes of the seed of Abraham.
So 80% are Central European, Eastern European, popularly known as Ashkenazi or Khazarians, and that's admitted in the Encyclopedia Judaica, and about 20% are Sephardi or from the tribe of Judah.
You are confusing British Israelism, which was started by Herbert W. Armstrong of the Worldwide Church of God.
But he didn't really start that 150 years ago. I'm saying the British monarchy believed that for 1,000 years.
You are confusing it with true identity, which is the belief that the white race is all 12 tribes. And this has been talked about by Colonel Jack Moore and Pete Peters.
No, I know, but I actually tracked back, scores of history books I read that didn't even have a political axe to grind, and then reprints of 600, 700-year-old text. And I'm saying that whereas it is true that when the Christians showed up, 1,500 years ago and 1,000 years ago, in the Germanic lands, that they saw standing stones with Hebrew on them, but that was because the Norse, and that was a large collection of people being seafaring, had gone into and been all over, and so out of that archaeological evidence, they were also in the Americas, that's now been mainstream proven, out of that you then get to claim that they are actually all the 12 tribes. I'm not even debating that or arguing. I'm saying mainline historically, there's something to it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm saying that there's three ways of looking at the Bible as to who Israel is, and you were confusing British Israelism with pure, true identity.
Well, I know they're two separate things, and I appreciate your call, sir. Listen, I appreciate you. And someday, maybe we'll do a whole show on this. My whole thing is there's different angles and different varieties of all that identity stuff, and I've read it and I've looked at it, for years. What do you think I'm doing the show and haven't heard about all this? I don't believe that because you're black you're going to hell, and that you're not God's child. And I don't believe whatever Ashkenazis are, whatever Sephardis are. By the way, they've done genetic tests where they've dug up the bones of people. And by the way, the Palestinians and other groups have been paid to have this done. And they've done the genetic markers. And, there is no doubt Sephardis were in the Middle East and were in what's known as Israel today. And there's no doubt those people aren't connected to the Jews of the Bible. It's just, now, it's just, I don't understand the obsession with this. It's just ongoing obsession. And then if I read my New Testament, if the Jews are the chosen people, and that's used as a catch-all term over all of the 12 tribes, the Asherites and all of it, if you've got, that line, and the line of David and Jesus, well, Jesus came and said, you're all part of it. Go out to all of them. They're all in my flock. They're everybody. And again, I'm not having a religious debate. This is not a religious show. I am a Christian. I don't hide that fact. But I don't get into all these thousands of sects fighting with each other and Protestant, Catholic, and all the other groups. That's not what this show is about. There's a million other shows that do that. I was just simply trying to point out that 12, 13 years ago when I first learned about the different branches of it, that I actually did an investigation, and that some of what you're hearing is true. I have no way of verifying the rest of it. There's a lot of history we don't know. There's a lot of things that got lost or destroyed. And it is very interesting to know where your roots come from. It's very interesting to understand all these things. There is no doubt from the archaeological record that going back even 5,000, 6,000 plus years ago, that all over the Middle East, and they've dug up the primitive sites, and that's even on Discovery Channel and History Channel, and that there are Europeans, white Europeans in China. northern and western China. They've dug up settlements of people mummified, blonde-haired, blue eyes. They've genetically typed them, and they're basically Scandinavian. The Finns and several other of the Scandinavian groups have Asian alphabets and Asian language. All the linguists agree. So what is that? It's clear that modern India was founded by a subgroup of whites, and still to this day the ruling class, is real careful about keeping themselves, you look at them and they got, light brown hair and blue eyes. So it's interesting historically to talk about that. We're all interrelated. But I'll try to jam in a call or two more. Got some final news I want to hit on. Then the Lou Dobbs is coming up. Lou Dobbs coming up.